Hey guys, this is Noir back again with another video. Today's video, I'm coming to you with my top 15 discontinued fragrances that I still have in my collection. So let's see what I have. Now, this is just 15 discontinued fragrances that I still have in my collection. I used to have enough discontinued fragrances to where, I believe in 2021, I did a discontinued December where I wore a discontinued fragrance every day for the month of December. I don't think I quite have 30 now, but I have more than 15. These are the ones that I wanted to feature today. Some of them you've seen before, some of them you may not have. Some of them are newer ones in my collection. So let's get into it. The last thing before I start, I wanted to mention that all of the discontinued fragrances that I have in my collection or have had in my collection, I got in person from shops here in Kuwait. None of these have I purchased online. Everything that I got, I went and I put my hands on here at the historic souk called Mubarakia. There used to be a bunch of shops that sold fragrances, and then there was a huge fire, and most of those shops burned down. Some of them have since opened back up, but a lot of what was available is not available anymore. So I did sell the majority of them because I could, and I just kept the things for right now that I really like. So let's not waste any more time and get into it. These are in no particular order. I just put some of them together just to make it easier in my mind. So the first two I want to go ahead and get out of the way because they're some of my all-time favorite discontinued fragrances. And the first one I want to mention is from the Armani Privé line, and this is Ambre Orient. This is a 100 ml bottle. All right, Ambre Orient was released in 2010. Some of the notes on it are vanilla, French labdanum, pink pepper, cinnamon, patchouli, thyme, and sandalwood. This is an amber scent, if you couldn't guess. This one is in the same vein of, say, Ambre Sultan, even the one from Parfumum Roma, the Ambre one, and it's that almost spicy, sweet, quintessential, almost generic in a good way amber scent. This is one that is almost impossible to find. I don't know where. I haven't even seen it posted on eBay before. You know, I did a standalone video about it being the unicorn in my collection. This is the most exclusive and hard to find discontinued fragrance I believe I have in my collection. Have you tried this one? Let's keep it moving. The next one I want to mention is again from the house of Armani Privé. This is one I've talked about a lot. This is one of my all-time favorite fragrances and my favorite Armani Privé of all time. And this one is Myrrhe Impériale. So Myrrhe Impériale was released in 2013. This one has myrrh, benzoin, vanilla, saffron, and pink pepper. What's special about this one, besides the fact that it's discontinued and hard to find, I'm able to find 100 mLs here, was that I was able to find a 250 ml bottle of this, which is just insane. So the story goes was that I had my 100 ml bottle. I had only really worn it a couple times. So I put it up on eBay. I said to myself, if I could sell this for a particular price, then I would put that money towards purchasing this 250 ml. Now, basically the money that I got from that paid for this 250 ml bottle because it was still going for retail. That's just how it goes. But now each year, the prices are going up on these, all these things in the retail shop. So a couple of things I kind of missed out on, but let's go ahead and keep it going. The next two fragrances I want to mention are from the house of Dior. These particular fragrances are in themselves not discontinued, but the formulations of them are discontinued, and people have been searching for them, and it's treated as if it's a discontinued fragrance because the newer formulations of them are a little bit different. At least this first one I mentioned is, and this one is Eau Sauvage Parfum. This is the black label. This particular one was released in 2012. Notes on it are bergamot, citron, vetiver, lavender, myrrh, patchouli, and oak moss. Now, the biggest difference between this one and the newer formulation is that it's missing the note of myrrh, and that makes it more like dark and a little bit more resinous. and that. So this particular bottle and the other Dior I'm about to show you, I got from the same shop. And I remember the guy when I went back, just because I was stopping there every once in a while just to see what they may have, because it's not a shop that is known to have vintages or anything like that. It's just a normal shop, and he'll have some things. And he was telling me how he was mad that somebody had sold me this one for pretty much retail, a little bit under retail, and you know, found out that it was discontinued, that it was a hard to find one, and it was one that should have been sold for more. And so it's basically the same story for the next fragrance that I'm going to mention. The next fragrance I'm going to mention from the house of Dior is my most recent pickup of a discontinued fragrance. And this was one I searched all around Kuwait looking for. Every single shop I was asking them for the box, and this one is the original Dior Homme, the 2005 edition. I wanted to show the box only because I was looking on Raiders of the Lost Scent, and they were showing you that the original formulation has this particular formula code number, which is 01704/A. And so I was looking for that everywhere I went. I asked them, can I see that box? Because they all look the same, and just looked on the back for that formula code. And the same shop that I got the 2012 Eau Sauvage from, Parfum, I found this. This was literally the only one sitting on the shelf. So I took it and I looked at the formula code on the bottom. I just tried to maintain my composure and just asked him how much it was. And he told me whatever price it was in Kuwaiti dinar, and I was like, come on, you know, I was just trying to play stupid, and he was trying to say that it was like discontinued. I'm like, come on. So I basically got this for around $74, and this is the Silver Stem original 2005 Dior Homme Eau de Toilette. So as you see the silver stem in there, it has Dior etched into it. So this particular bottle was produced in 2007, and the notes on this one are lavender, sage, iris, cocoa, Tahitian vetiver, and patchouli. This was one I was really happy to find because, like I said, all of these fragrances, I only have picked them up in hand myself. You know, that's what I like about finding discontinued fragrances. Me personally, just because I'm in an area where I'm able to do so. You know, that's the fun of it. Me trying to find things online and getting beat on the price, or even, you know, my guy here that has the vintages here getting beat on the price. You know, for me, it takes the fun out of finding these discontinued fragrances. But let's keep it. The next fragrance I want to mention is from the house of Tom Ford. So I'll just mention the Tom Fords that I have now. But the first one I want to mention, this was probably my crown gem at the time, because I was so into incense fragrances that I have in my collection. Only issue with this one is that I did pay over retail for it. I didn't pay, you know, a ridiculous amount. He gave me a decent price, but it was like more than retail. And this one is Sahara Noir. This is a quintessential Grail incense fragrance. I did find it. This one was released in 2013. Notes are Labdanum, cypress, incense, beeswax, rose, jasmine, Egyptian balsam, and benzoin. And like I said, this is just a quintessential incense fragrance. If you're able to get this for any decent price, they only come in 50 mLs. I would pick up on it. I just love this scent. I'm glad that I got it. I talked them down a little bit off of the price, and so I was able to get it in my collection. At the time, I was hurt by it, but I was like, I have to get it. And so that was one where a little bit of the fun was taken out. You know, a little bit of air out of my sails when looking for discontinued fragrances. For me, it's about the art of the find and getting it for a good price. So let's keep it moving. The next Tom Ford that I want to mention is one that's it's not one of my all-time favorite Tom Fords, but it is a good one, and this is Rive Ambre. So this one is a citrus amber. As you see, this is a tester that I found. So I found this tester, This one was released in 2013. It has citruses, bitter orange, amber, bergamot, lemon, tarragon, mint, and tolu balsam. So this was during, I found this during like my heyday. This was like before the fire, that I picked up on this demonstration tester. It's about, I don't know if you can see, it's like halfway full. So even if I wanted to sell it, I'm not gonna get much. It only has like about 25 ml in it. So let's move on to the next one. The next fragrance I want to mention from the house of Tom Ford was one that I actually didn't want to put on the list, just because it's probably my all-time favorite Tom Ford private blend. There was a different one that I wanted to feature, but I forgot it, and I actually accidentally grabbed this one. The one I wanted to feature was London, but today, if you don't know already, my favorite Tom Ford private blend at the moment is Vert d'Encens. So Vert d'Encens is a green incense fragrance, as it says. This one was released in 2016. Some of the notes on it are pine, wood resins, fir balsam, heliotrope, woody notes, and boxwood. So this again is pretty much my all-time favorite Tom Ford private blend. I don't really have, I only have like 3, I think now. This one, the Riv d'Ambre, and London. Those are the only 3 I have at the moment. I'm just a little bit over Tom Ford private blends at the moment. I had a number of them, but I sold them like Tobacco Oud Intense. I found that one for a crazy deal, but I was able to flip it for, you know, more than what I paid for. And it was really nice, but it's just, you know, if it's not like one of my all-time favorite scents, then I'd rather just make some money on it and keep it moving, now that I'm trying to really cultivate my collection. Let's keep it moving. So those were all of the Tom Fords. Let's keep it moving. The next fragrance is from the house of Issey Miyake, and this one was one that I was searching for. I really can't believe that I found it, and I also found a tester bottle of it at the time. And this one is Yuzu. Now Yuzu, I saw this on eBay for like $229, which is too much for this, but because it's a citrus scent. But I was like, oh, that's actually not that bad. But I paid like less than $30 for this. This one is the Issey Miyake Yuzu, was released in 2014. Notes on it are yuzu, citron, mandarin orange, nutmeg, and cedar. And this is like a citrus scent, summer citrus scent with some woods in it. And you know, I've never tried the yuzu fruit, but I like yuzu fruit. You know, I used to be into Japanese culture when I was a lot younger. I used to take Japanese in high school, so anytime I see like yuzu, it always catches my eye. But this was something that I got a long time ago, and it was just one I just couldn't believe I found. And I'm really not into Issey Miyake at all. There isn't one scent besides this one that I actually like. So I was happy to find it. Let's keep it moving. Now I'm just going to talk about the next two fragrances I'm going to talk about are from the house of Guerlain. Next fragrance I wanted just because it featured the note of ambergris, and this one is Ambre Eternel. This is Ambre Eternel. I didn't see this one posted on eBay recently. I'd seen it before. I'm sure it's on there. This one was released in 2016. This one has ambergris, coriander, cardamom, peach, ylang-ylang, orange blossom, and woodsy notes. And so this was one that I really wanted to get my hands on. The only person that I knew that had it was the same guy that I got the Tom Ford Sahara Noir from. So it was quite expensive. Anytime you run into these guys and they know, especially him, because he specializes in getting in vintage fragrances. So anytime they know what they have, they're going to try to beat you on the price. But not to mention this again, but Ambre Orient was one I got from my guy that I was able to come up on, because I got this one for less than retail, which was a steal. But Ambre Orient, I wanted to get that one because again, it featured the note of ambergris. I sprayed it here. I mean, I like it. It's a really like different type of scent. I'm just gonna live with it for a little bit and see if I want to keep it. I'm on the fence about that one, but let's keep it moving. The next fragrance from the house of Guerlain is one that's discontinued. This is another fragrance that I'm able to like Myrrhe Impériale, that I actually have access to, and this one is Monsieur de Monsieur, handkerchief of the gentleman. So the story behind this is that this is supposed to be the like men's version of Jicky. I actually have never smelled Jicky because like the retail shops, they don't have it in. I don't know about Harvey Nichols, but everywhere I've been, I usually am in this particular mall that has Bloomingdale's, and they don't have Jicky. I did buy a bottle of Jicky recently, but I only bought it to sell it, so I've never smelled it. And so this one was released in 1904. The notes on it are lavender, bergamot, lemon, verbena, jasmine, rose, vanilla, iris, and oak moss. And this is just a great, classy scent. It's like a fruitier with a little bit of like ambery like undertones to it. But I do like the lavender in it. I'm really getting into like lavender into scents recently. But this is one that I was happy I was able to find. This one, even though I only know two spots that actually have it, it wasn't that difficult to find. Let's keep it moving. Now, I forgot to mention this one when I was talking about the house of Dior. Now, this one is called Fahrenheit 32. This is the 50 ml bottle. This was something, you know, I found in another spot. I pretty much, even though Fahrenheit was like the very first fragrance that I got into when I was in middle school. When I first smelled Fahrenheit, I really loved it. So I had a number of the flankers, but I got rid of them. This is actually the only Fahrenheit I still own in my collection, and it's probably my favorite flanker. I had an Aqua Fahrenheit, but I think Fahrenheit 32 is a little bit better. This one was released in 2007. Notes on it are orange blossom, vetiver, and vanilla are the listed notes. I like this one. I don't know how hard it is to find. I've seen a couple videos where people were talking about, you know, how they were paying exorbitant prices for it. I think I paid like 60 bucks for this one. And after I bought this, and then the next time where I went to the same spot, it was completely sold out. I think somebody knew what was up, and then they just bought them all up. Let's keep it moving. This next discontinued fragrance is from the house of Lancôme. This is the only one at the moment I have from Lancôme. I got this fragrance from the same place that I got Eau Sauvage and the Dior 2005 Silver Stem. This one isn't extremely hard to find, but it was a leather scent that kind of caught my eye. And this one is Cœur de Lancôme. See that, Cœur de Lancôme. If you can see that this one does not have the original cap. It's notorious for having the worst cap in history. So I was opening it up on the way to the car, and because I couldn't wait to smell it, and it fell out of my hand and broke, and that was the end of that. So it's hard to actually find a replacement cap because the cap is so horrible that it doesn't even come with this rim that usually comes on top of it. It doesn't even come with that. So this is from like an Autar that I had, so I just put that on it and just keep it moving. But this is a great like sweet leather scent. It was released in 2006. This one has saffron, bergamot, ylang-ylang, jasmine, birch, styrax, and orris root. I don't know how many batches of this were made, but this is the original formulation of this particular one. There aren't a lot of reviews on it about it, and there's not a lot of like fanfare or mystique behind the scent, but I thought that was a good one to pick up. It was a really good blind buy. Let's keep it moving. The next fragrance I want to mention is from the house of Gucci, the only one I own from Gucci, and this one is Gucci Pour Homme 2. So Gucci Pour Homme 2, I got this one for a pretty good price. This is probably one of the only fragrances that I wish I had gotten the 100 ml of, because at the time he was selling it for a good price, but I felt like the 50 ml was a harder to find format than the 100 ml. But once I smelt it, I was like, man, I wish I would have gotten the 100 ml. Now he still has it, but he's gone up on the price because my friend was asking for it, and I told him, I said, I don't know what today's price is, and sure enough, it was raised by like 30 bucks. So I'll just stick with my 50 ml. All right, let's go ahead and keep it moving. Two more. The next fragrance I want to mention is from the house of L'Artisan Parfumeur. And this is the only scent I still own from this house. I've still never had a chance to buy or smell Timbuktu, but this one is called Zing. I really enjoy this scent. I wore it the other day. It was listed as like a woody scent. I would consider this like a leather scent. This one was released in 1999. Notes on it are leather, caramel, whitewoods, toffee, tonka bean, saffron, cotton candy, and candy apple. So this is supposed to be inspired by the smells and taste of the circus. That's why you have this person on top of the bear. This is the original bottle. I believe they put them in the bottles with the black caps on it. I got this for a decent price. It was a blind buy. This one has a little bit of a cult following on it, but it's not one of these like crazy, like super hyped up fragrances. It's like it's like a underground favorite. But I really enjoy Zing. This is one of my favorite fragrances, you know. I don't know where I would put it. I don't think it's like top 10, but it's up there. It's a fragrance that I wouldn't sell. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the last one. And the last fragrance that I want to mention is from the house of Amouage. I actually just sold a vintage bottle of Ciel. Now Ciel is discontinued in all formats. Now the one that I had was like in the original like bottle that looked like the sword. I believe it was the Pour Homme. But anyways, the one I'm going to mention today is a woman's fragrance. I'm pretty much only interested in checking out and discovering what I've missed in the women's line, and this is the only fragrance at the moment that I regret selling. So I had the 100 ml bottle, I sold it, but then when I smelled Benthal Sudan, I was like, this smells very similar to something that I had before, and it was Fate Woman. Now here's the box presentation. Now I sold the 100 ml. I was lucky enough to find a 50 ml and get it at a discount. And this one is, you know, whatever you consider vintage, because I don't know when this one was made. This one comes with the non-magnetic cap, so it snaps on. And this is one of my favorite Amouage fragrances. This is the only fragrance that I regretted selling. This is the only fragrance that I've sold that I have repurchased. And I would have gotten it again. I wouldn't have wanted the 100 ml, but I would have wanted a 50 ml. But to come up on like a original non-magnetic cap, that was even better. But back then, I don't believe Amouage put batch codes on their fragrances, and as you see this particular box on the bottom, all of the barcode and everything came on the plastic. Now I believe they put them on the box. So this is in fact discontinued. I don't know about the extrait. I've been lucky enough to come up on some extraits recently for a decent price. So I got Lyric Woman extrait, and I got Gold Woman extrait, and I got those for like super steals because they're quite expensive. But if I come up on Fate extrait, that is something that I would want to get my hands on. So there you have it. Those are my 15 discontinued fragrances that I want to feature in this video. What are some of your favorite discontinued fragrances? Please let me know in the comments. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace.